evening, everyone. We're going to wait here a couple minutes to see if anybody pops on. I know we put a notification in that on Facebook. Gabriella did put one on YouTube, she said, but I don't think there was a time scheduled for it. But guys, we told you Tuesdays and Thursdays we will be on. So here we are. I know. Okay. Kiwi, of course, there she is. So hopefully people will know that we are on. We're going to have an interesting night tonight. I know, Linda, you said you had a shitty day. I had a shitty day, and it's just been crazy, crazy, crazy. I'm going to start off like I normally do with our weather. I know it gets boring at times, but that's kind of our little tradition here, how we start off. Let me check. So right now it says we have a balmy 6 degrees, but it feels like -4. Tomorrow we are supposed to have a balmy 13 for the high and a -6. It says we reached 17 today. I think we got a little higher because when I went outside a couple times today to check, hi Cactus, and Linda, of course, we said hi to you. When I went out to check the mail, it didn't seem like it was like only 17. It did seem a little bit higher. And I think Tom said at one point when he checked, it did hit 20. But we were supposed to get another big storm this weekend. They're kind of watching it. They don't know what's going on. They said it seems like it might sway more to the east and might miss us, and we'll just get those frigid temperatures yet. These frigid temperatures are supposed to go straight up until Monday. And then I think we only have 1 day break next week and then snow pretty much all the week. Now, I don't mind the snow, which I've talked about before, but I got a rant that I'm going to do. I did it on Facebook, and I'm going to do it on here. So, guys, bear with me. My rant is everybody knows when you get a big snow, you're going to have to do shoveling. We know that. Now, I got to tell you, our house, Linda's seen pictures. Hi, Ronan. Welcome back again, Ronan. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Why isn't his little wrench by there? Because you did make him a mod.
Because we made him a mod on your
channel. Oh, okay, that's right.
A mod on this one, too.
So, our house is right next, in New Florence, where we live, which I shouldn't say that. We're right on Main Street. So, I mean, we are literally, the main road is right in front of our house. Now, our mailbox is right on the edge. There's like a grassy part right before the street. And then there's the sidewalk. There's a little bit more grass. There's our steps leading up to our porch and our porch. Common sense, it snows. Make sure your porch is clear. Make sure your steps are clear. Make sure the walkway to the porch, the sidewalk in front, the grassy place where your mailbox is, make sure all that's cleared out. We cleared it out, even though Eric is probably on the verge of pneumonia because he's been hacking up his lungs. He went out there and he shoveled, made sure that was all cleared out, and so did Tom. We haven't been getting our mail since Monday, which Monday was understandable because that was right after we got the storm and everything was closed. I don't even think the mail even delivered that day, so didn't think anything of it. Tuesday went out, had the path and that cleared, no mail. Wednesday, no mail. Went and checked today again, no mail. And I said, okay, that's enough. I called up the post office. Post office says, well, there's no pathway cleared out. I said, the whole way around the mailbox is cleared out. You know, what do you mean? And he said, oh, okay, well, then you'll get your mail delivered tomorrow. So about 10, 15 minutes passes. Phone rings. It's the guy from the postal service that I talked to, and he goes, oh, it isn't clear. So that's why you're not getting your mail. No, what do you mean it isn't clear? I said, we have all around the mailbox, up on the sidewalk and up to our house. He said, oh, yeah. He said, you guys did a real good job. That looks real nice. He said, but there's a mound beside the mailbox on the road. Now, mind you, even in front of the mailbox on the road, that was cleared out. So she had, when she opened up the door, she 2 steps, put the mail in the mailbox. Oh, no. He wants us, there's a mound and it's already turned like ice. It's like a rock. A mound probably 3 feet high to the left of the mailbox and probably going maybe 8 to 10 feet up. He wants us to clear all of that off on the main road so she can pull her van there safely because it's all about safety. And I'm going, wait, and he says, well, and you guys can come over to the mailbox. I mean, come over to the post office and get your mail. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. So we can go out in frigid temperatures and park our car outside and walk into their building to get the mail, and the safety for us isn't a concern. But God forbid she parks right there, even if it's a little bit on the road, which other vehicles do it, parks right there, takes 2 steps out and goes, voila, there's your mail. She can't do that because of safety concerns. Now, the borough is responsible for plowing those roads. That's a main road right in front of our house. Why aren't they responsible for clearing out that big mound of ice? That doesn't make any sense, and I'm telling you, I'm furious. So I know we're not going to get tomorrow, and hopefully we don't have, our W-2 forms and that all came in, but I think Chase is still waiting for one. There's important mail that we're probably missing, and a package because we don't have that big mound shoveled off out there. I call bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. And I am not happy. So enough about that. Yeah, Eric's not doing real great. He had a real rough night last night. My night was better last night, but when I left from our show the other night, the night before that and that night, I had a rough night like you would not believe. So, what else was I going to say? The other thing that I was going to say is I don't want to say who, but there is another place that is going through almost exactly what we went through this past year with our situation at where, and the circumstances are so similar, and a lot of it involved backstabbing.
Addie's back.
Addie, well, welcome back. Welcome back. Look at this. Yeah, we're gonna have a good night. So if you see in our title, what's behind those walls, tonight we're going to be talking about the ice walls in Antarctica. Now, Tom's the one that told me about it, and he's like he watches Ancient Aliens and stuff like that. He's like fascinated by that stuff. And he said he watched like a whole 2.5-hour documentary on the story behind it. I can tell you this, a lot of it stems from the flat earthers. So I don't know what Gabriella found. I don't know what all Gabriella found. I did find some on AI. I have a story that they wrote for me too, and then I found some odd stuff. But that's the other announcement before we get into there. Big news. Well, I wouldn't say big news, but exciting for us. We are going to be doing the Universal Yums again. And I did contact them to see if we can do it as an influencer, because we do everything that they do. Like, we unbox it, we open it up, we taste it, we review it, we have fun doing it. So our first box will be shipped tomorrow. It's going to be from Germany. Now, it's not going to be the bigger box because I just can't afford that right now. So it's going to have like 5 to 7, I think, pieces in it. Once late spring, early summer, I'll probably upgrade it, and then we'll have to do that in a 2-part or like 2 shows. But we will be doing Universal Yums. So I'm thinking, since it's going to be shipped tomorrow, it'll probably arrive sometime next week. So I will update you guys when it comes in and when we're going to be doing that. So with that being said, the show is yours.
So first I have the conspiracy theories about what's behind the wall and everything. And then I have what the wall actually is and who kind of like keeps track of everything behind it and what's going on back there and what you're allowed to do back there, who's allowed back there, what the requirements are, so on and so forth. So I have a little bit of information, more of the conspiracy theories than the actual, like, what's behind the wall, because no one really knows the answer to that, not even AI. So,
there was something stuck on it.
I pulled my hair.
I'm sorry, but it was stuck on there. I don't know what it was. I didn't mean to pull your hair. Doesn't she look like she's only like 12 years old with her hair like that?
It was worse earlier. It was like out like that. Yeah. So I pulled them closer together. I think it looks cute.
It is cute. I think it's real cute. It's just so you look extra, extra young.
I wanted my hair out of my face today, and I didn't want to put it in a ponytail because sometimes I put it in a ponytail or pieces don't freaking stay in there, or it looks weird, or I look bald because of my blonde roots coming back in. Anyways, getting back to the topic.
That was my fault. I had to pull something off of her.
I have the conspiracy theories that people have claimed what's behind the wall, or what they think is behind the wall, or whatever, like what's associated with the wall. So let's get into it. The first one is the flat Earth boundary. The most prominent theory suggests Antarctica is not a continent, but a massive 150-foot ice wall that encircles the Earth's edge to keep the oceans from spilling over. That is the dumbest conspiracy theory I think I've ever heard in my entire life.
But even the flat earther conspiracy theory is dumb when you think about it.
Yeah, I still don't understand how people think that the Earth is flat. I really don't.
I don't know.
If it was flat...
And not to offend anybody, if somebody on here does believe that.
This is our opinion.
Yeah, like, I'm sorry, but we're going to...
And I have a very strong opinion. If the Earth was flat, there wouldn't be different cycles of the sun around the Earth. It would literally just be the same on every part of the Earth, and you would have to kind of be like upside down.
Well, like Eric was...
If you were on the other side of the world.
Eric was explaining it too, about the one scientist that explained about the shadows and that, and during different times of the day, how they change and everything, because
it makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. So anyways, that's the first conspiracy theory. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. The second one is called Beyond the Wall. Proponents often claim there are additional continents or extra worlds hidden behind the wall, inhabited by ancient civilizations, aliens, or secret societies.
Now, I did read on that theory. They said because Antarctica is so vast, and where the wall is to where, I can't remember where they said there is such a big space, because they had a map of that area. Mm-hmm. They said there could easily be other continents and stuff like that contained in there. So that theory kind of...
What people are finding interesting is, if you go and search on Google Maps Antarctica, and you zoom in, how you can usually go to like streets and people's houses and whatever you want to find, you cannot, everything is blurred.
Yeah.
Everything is blurred.
Yeah. They said because that area is so vast that they don't like, that's where those theories are.
Which is interesting, because I was also reading that there are satellite dishes that go and take pictures of it. So if there's pictures being made of it, where are those pictures going, and why aren't they on Google Maps? Like, why can't we see behind there?
Cactus. That's a pretty goofy theory. Everyone knows that's where the real Narnia begins. I love that.
Hell yeah.
And Linda, no, we're not doing Pakistan. No.
No.
Okay. Next.
That's a no-go.
No, 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 no,
So,
no.
anyways, third theory is the Great Barrier origin. Many theories misinterpret the 19th century discovery of the Ross Ice Shelf, which explorer James Clark Ross originally named the Great Barrier because it's towering 200-foot ice cliffs blocking his path.
Wow.
But people misinterpret that as it's a giant barrier of, like, as the wall that they're talking about. The fourth one is hollow earth gateways. This sounds like something from, like, Stranger Things. Some believe Antarctica houses an entrance to a hollow earth.
That was, I think, I'm hoping that was the dog, because it was the same thing we felt the other day, and that shook the chairs again. But he did move around in there, and he is like a cow. So
That was weird.
Dog.
It still wasn't as intense as before, though.
Dog.
Anyways, back to the thing.
And I'll tell you later on too what happened to me today,
And
just right before we started the show.
And then I'll tell you what happened to me the other day while I was doing my nails. Anyways, some believe Antarctica houses an entrance to a hollow earth containing a tropical interior or advanced subterranean beings.
That's what your dad was telling me.
Which I think that theory spirals from scientists finding life under the ice.
Makes sense, because
they're talking about, like, sea creatures. They found a whole new ecosystem of sea creatures that are, like, hundreds, thousands, millions years old, and they somehow survived in this ice for that long.
Well, those water bears, or whatever the hell they're called, they can survive in that, so
those
why
things
not?
are weird.
Yeah,
they're like
otherworldly. They're funky.
Okay, so the fifth one is a Nazi base. It's called New Swabenland. New Swabenland.
Okay.
A persistence theory claims that Nazis built a secret base called Base 211 in Antarctica during World War II. Some versions suggest Hitler escaped there via U-boat to develop UFO technology.
Wow. I think that's the biggest conspiracy theory that is out, that they're hiding. It's like another Area 51, where the government is literally hiding an alien civilization or something like that there, that they really don't want us to know yet.
It is odd because I like I said, after the conspiracy theories, I will get into what the wall actually is, who controls it, and what it's actually called, and things like that. But it is odd that that's like the only place in the entire world that has a wall of ice blocking off an entire place.
There was a scientific explanation how that happened. But the weird thing is, here's the other thing. Not everybody travels every day to Antarctica. Why? Because it's literally a desert. It's but not a dry desert. It's considered a desert. Nobody literally travels there. Like, it's very rare. Expeditions, explorers and that will occasionally, but that's not a regular vacation spot. Where like Area 51 now, on the other hand, people go there on a regular basis. So that's what makes that even more mysterious. Why would they, if there is something going on there, why would they need a wall there? Not too many people go to Antarctica. So what would be the need of hiding something?
Like, they're hiding something behind there. Yeah. But like I said, I'll get to that. The sixth and last conspiracy theory is a forbidden access. Theorists argue the Antarctic Treaty is actually a military blockade to prevent the public from discovering the secrets. What secrets? Nobody knows.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's really not. The only thing that I found too is they said there is that documentary that your dad was talking about, and there is scientists that step in. They do have an explanation why they say that that wall is there. This
That's
was the
what I have
yeah. So
on this page. It's too damn cold in Antarctica. Yeah, it
well,
is.
that's just it. And I mean, like I said, who's going to go there? It's not like it's a regular vacation spot. Hey, you know, honey, you know what? Let's take a vacation. We're going to go to Antarctica.
We're gonna
freeze.
Yeah,
we're gonna see what kind of creatures, penguins, whatever. We're gonna get. Like you don't do that, but Area 51 now, on the other hand, people go there a lot, and they try to see if they can get to find out what's going on there. They usually don't have much success.
On that too, where people have claimed to work there and said they've seen some pretty crazy things.
That's what's going to happen with this. I don't know. Eventually, somebody that has a tie in there that's had enough of if there is something in, they're going to come out. You're going to hear people saying, "Yeah, this is," and that could even be on that documentary. I didn't watch the documentary. That could be a future part for us on here that we can literally sit down and watch and take notes, find out.
So. Getting into this part of it, this is called the Antarctic Treaty, which is an international agreement signed in 1959, entering into force in 1961, that designates the entire continent of Antarctica, defined as all land and ice shelves south of 60 degrees south latitude, as a scientific preservative and a zone of peace. It prohibits military activity, mining, and nuclear testing while promoting free scientific investigation.
I think I did see that. I think that's on the little bit that I got too.
Now, I was actually reading the Antarctic Treaty, like the entire agreement. And it said in the agreement that military personnel / equipment may be used for research. What research?
The only kind of research they could do in Antarctica would see what's below.
Like, I would understand if it was for, like, wildlife, and they were trying to protect the wildlife and everything, which they do say that that's the reason. Nobody's really allowed back there, and you have to be careful what you touch, and that your even a footprint could be left there for thousands of years, and they don't want their entire place messed up and whatever. But why would you need not just military personnel, but their equipment for research? What military equipment can be used for whatever research they have going on there?
Yeah, military you usually don't bring in just for no reason. There's usually a reason to bring military in. Yeah, so I mean, it from what your dad told me too, he said there's a lot that if you watch that documentary in particular, you'll go, like.
So then I have the environmental and visitor rules. Waste management has strict rules prohibiting leaving waste with a requirement to remove all garbage and, in some cases, materials from previous activities. And by waste, they mean radioactive waste. So what are you doing behind the wall that is radioactive?
Interesting.
And what previous activities, if you're not allowed to, I don't know. Feel free to chat. Everyone is welcome to join the conversation.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes,
Everybody,
everybody.
That's why I keep on looking over there. I am listening to Gabriella, but I keep on looking to see if there's something that I want. You're right, Linda. Americans love conspiracy theories. There's a conspiracy theory about pretty much everything.
There really is. The next one is wildlife protection. You do not disturb, handle, or harm native fauna and flora. I don't exactly know what that means.
Well, I don't know what kind of fauna or flora would actually survive the climate there.
Is that a plant?
Yeah, fauna and flora is vegetation. It's flora is like floral, and fauna is like...
No, fauna refers to all the animal life in a particular region or time period, contrasting with flora, plants, and fungi.
Okay, well...
It is used in biology to describe the animal life of a specific area.
I knew flora was flat, like floral weeds.
And can be studied through direct observation or fossils.
Interesting.
That is interesting. Plants and animals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Visitor guidelines. Tourism is managed only Only one ship, I can't read my own writing. Only one ship may visit a site at a time with strict landing quotas, maximum 100 passengers ashore, and guide to passenger ratios.
See, that's what I read and told your dad. I said, funny thing is it's a mystery what's behind there, but you are allowed to go there, but you have to have very strict permits to be behind. You
have to be guided.
And if you're a visitor, you are allowed to visit, but you have to have a tourist, like a guide and a tourist, and it's restricted. Yep.
So you're probably allowed to see like a tiny bit of something, and then they're like, okay, we're
moving on. How many visitors are they actually getting there? Unless it's the conspiracy theory people.
It could be basically just the people that want to know what's behind the wall.
Because they're saying up to 100 passengers.
Maximum 100 passengers ashore.
Who and how wants to go to Antarctica? I mean, we feel like we're living in Antarctica right now, and we're not enjoying it too much. And we're at least in a nice warm house 99% of the time during this.
I think I would die. If I ever went to Antarctica, I would.
Do you know how many layers of clothing that you would have to put on? Because I know when we go outside in those temperatures, there's like these type of jackets, a big coat, the thing around your face, a hood. Like you look like an Eskimo and then some. And you'd have to all the time there. Like,
yeah, I there's no way. And then conservation is do not take souvenirs, including rocks, fossils, or artifacts. Don't touch the rocks, because apparently that's bad.
Huh. That's interesting that you can't even take something like even a rock.
No, yeah, you can't take any souvenirs. Not a single one. You probably can't even take like a thing of snow and like resin it or anything. And then, of course, you usually need a permit an organized expedition and environmental plans.
Mm-hmm. See, that's what I found too, because your dad kind of like, no, I'm like, yeah, that's what I found.
Which is very interesting.
Yeah, that's what I found. So, anybody have any questions so far?
How does one get the permit to have the access to go back there? Do you have to be a scientific person? Can you be a regular person?
I think the permit would be for if you want to literally set up or do something there. So like explorers or people that's on some kind of an expedition or something and they want to set up there, they would have to get a permit. As far as visitors and stuff and that, I'm sure they don't need a permit, but they have to have the tour guide now, which the tour guide and them would probably have to have a permit because they would be part of whatever's behind that wall. So they would have the permit and you'd have to go. it would be like when we were co-partners, so we had all the authority and all the paperwork and that we needed. But if somebody came in, we gave them the tour. They really didn't need anything other than our permission and waivers, whatever that they probably had to sign.
Okay.
You know, so I mean,
Yes, that makes
I'm sure that's how it would work, but I don't know, because that is a mystery. And when your dad told me about it, I was like, I never heard about any of this before. Because like he always does, he'll say, I got something. What that was that other one that he was telling us about that we talked about one day on here, and I can't remember what it was. And Cactus, excuse me, has come up like, well, she's the one that came up with the Philip experiment and experience and stuff and that. So whatever. But here's what I found, and it's not much. This is just more or less just generated for me. Like I asked a question and it kind of generated, so it's kind of like AI, but they went on like Reddit. They do a lot of Wikipedia, but it goes, the Antarctic ice wall. That one lives right at the crossroads of mystery, conspiracy, and real polar science. What people mean by the Antarctic ice wall. In conspiracy and fringe lore, especially flat earth circles, the ice wall is said to be a massive wall of ice surrounding the edge of the world. So they think that if that ice wall wasn't there, everything would run right off. Yeah. So supposedly keeping the oceans from spilling off the planet, guarded by governments or militaries to prevent people from discovering the truth. And they have on here, that version is not real, but it is inspired by something that is. And they said, what we do actually know, the ice shelves exist. Antarctica is ringed by ice shelves, thick, floating extensions of glaciers. Some are hundreds of feet tall at their edges above water, that is. Famous examples is the Ross Ice Shelf, the Ron Ice Shelf, I guess that's Ronne, Ronne, and the Filchner Ice Shelf. If you approached Antarctica by ship, you could see what looks like a sheer, endless ice cliff, that would be pretty cool to see, to be honest with you. I would go to Antarctica just to see that, I think, as long as I have a place to be warm. Ice cliffs. When glaciers meet the sea, they form vertical ice faces. These cliffs calve icebergs regularly. Early explorers did describe them as walls. So the visual inspiration is real, just not the global barrier idea. Why Antarctica is restricted, and I think Gabriella said that, fuel for the myth. People often point to the Antarctic Treaty as proof that something is being hidden. In reality, the treaty started in 1959. It bans military activity, mining, and nuclear tests. So this is saying that it bans military activity.
That's what I said.
Oh, I thought you said they used.
Well, that's what makes no sense. In the actual Antarctic Treaty itself, it says that it prohibits military activity, mining, and nuclear testing while promoting free scientific investigations. But here, this was another
There's
part
military personnel is there,
yeah, military personnel / equipment may be used for research.
Yeah, see, that doesn't make sense. It says it protects Antarctica for scientific research. You can go there with permits, guides, or research teams. There are tourist cruises, climbers, and researchers who've been all over the continent. So would they have people actually climbing up those ice walls? What else would they climb if they allow climbers there? Hey, let's go climb that 100-foot ice wall today. It says no armed guards, no edge of the world, but we don't know that. They're saying that, but if they're saying military could be on there, like, come on, there's like that there is some contradictions there going
Yeah,
on.
things are not making sense.
It says why the myth sticks around. Honestly, it's a perfect storm. Antarctica is remote and harsh, is what I said.
Mhm.
Few people will ever see it firsthand, which I also said. The ice formations are genuinely alien looking, and governments do restrict activity there for boring legal reasons, which because of the treaty and stuff like that you read. Um, and that was all I found on the AI research, that research. But they did write a story for me. But let me see, I did find, let me see if I can go back here. And I don't know if it's the same ones that you have or not, but let me check real quick. Real quick. And guys, I'm still working on my other story yet. I just, today and yesterday have been like, wow, yesterday was real bad for me. Let me see.
See, that's under the ice.
Did you, any, a hidden ecosystem? You have that though, right? Don't you?
Well, I said that one.
Okay.
And then I said,
some sea monster. Let me, okay.
but that's beneath the ice. It's not on the other side of the ice wall.
Okay, let me see. Well, they think that's what the ice wall is hiding. Do you want me to read those?
You can.
Let me see. La 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 la.
It's your research.
La, la, la. No, it's not my research. It's our research.
No, that was your research. This was my research. Together, it's our research.
Excuse me, guys. Let me see if I.
Well, that's a creepy thumbnail.
I don't know if I can find that now where I had it before. There it is. Okay, so what I found on here, it was on the travel guide. It says 9 strange scientific discoveries in Antarctica under the ice. Now, I don't know though if it's beyond the ice wall though. So, well, they're talking about they're talking about some of the ice shelves. So, number 1 was a hidden ecosystem in a subsurface river.
Which is what I did. In a different book, maybe? Probably a different book.
Yeah. So what it's saying is saying in December of 2021, which was not all that long ago, researchers noticed an intriguing groove in the Larsen ice shelf off the eastern coast of the Antarctic Peninsula, drilled down more than 1,600 feet to investigate what they correctly presumed was a subsurface river. They expected a water-filled conduit, but they didn't expect it to be brimming with life, namely in the form of darting about amphipods. Not only did the investigation reveal a deep down ecosystem where it wasn't anticipated, but it also showed unusual layering of alternating currents within the underground river, which is interesting, as yet unexplained. It also serendipitously happened to coincide with the epic eruption of Tonga's Hunga Ha'apai volcano on December 20th, the pressure waves of which were registered down in that impossibly remote sub-ice channel. So say that type. Tonga Ha'apai. I like that. Seeing the effects of the Tongan volcano, which erupted thousands of kilometers away, was quite remarkable, Craig Stevens of New Zealand's National Institute of Water and Atmospheric Research, part of the study team, said. It is also a reminder about just how connected our whole planet is. Witness the incredible, well, that's just a picture they showed there. Wow. I would bring it up. Okay, number 2, they said subglacial aquifers of ancient seawater. Anybody got any questions so far? Well, and Kiwi said my brother-in-law was in New Zealand Air Force and flew there multiple times, which is kind of interesting. Okay, it says also in 2022, a team of scientists employing magnetotelluric imaging discovered an enormous aquifer of fossil seawater, probably sealed away by ice for millennia beneath West Antarctica's Willands ice stream. The revelation of this deep reserve of brine confirmed what researchers had suspected for some time, that the porous sediment underlying Antarctica's massive and thick ice bodies likely contains plenty of water. The aquifer lies deeper down under the Willands ice stream than already identified subglacial lakes and rivers, and seems to show a very salty base layer overlaid by fresh water. So interesting. So there's fresh water and a salty base layer overlay. The scientists who imaged the aquifer speculate that it may be linked to the shallower subglacial waterways and help control the movement of the superficial ice stream. The colossal ice formations of Antarctica hold more than just frozen water. Beneath their magnificent exteriors, scientists have discovered vast subglacial aquifers containing ancient pockets of seawater, offering a glimpse into the Earth's past and potential for unique life forms. Dun, dun, dun. Number 3, a bygone Antarctic sea monster. As dinosaurs such as the great theropod Cryloposaurus stalked the Antarctic landmass, other Mesozoic reptilian beasts piled the adjoining waters. Among the marine menagerie was the heftiest known of the plesiosaur line, an elasmosaur, uncovered on the famously fossil-rich Seymour Island along the Antarctic Peninsula and described in 2019. This creature, which likely belonged to the southern hemisphere genus Arisnectes, I don't know, known for more robust heads and shorter necks as compared with elasmosaurid relatives, may have reached close to 40 feet in length and weighed upwards of 15 tons. Holy moly. The impressive complete fossil skeleton is also intriguing because of its vintage. The elasmosaur lived a mere 30,000 or so years before the devastating Cretaceous Paleogene extinction event that killed off non-avian dinosaurs and many other large animals and drew down the curtains on the Mesozoic era. This hulking sea monster suggests a vibrant and diverse Antarctic marine ecosystem right up until the very end. With its extraordinary long neck, the Elasmosaurus was a majestic sea monster that once glided through ancient oceans. Imagine discovering fossils of such a creature under Antarctic's ice, a testament to a time when this now frozen continent was home to an array of incredible marine life, continually surprising us with its hidden past. Interesting. Now, number 4, they said a giant egg was discovered in Antarctica. Make a lot of cooked meals. breakfast
What's
for
an omelet?
breakfast for everyone in Antarctica, all those 100 visitors. A bizarre ovaloid fossil collected on the White Continent in 2011 by Chilean scientists sat as a mystery object for years before a University of Texas-led study in 2020 identified it as a huge prehistoric soft shell egg better than 11 by 7 inches. It's the biggest soft shell egg known and one of the heftiest eggs of any kind ever discovered. The research team reckoned that whatever laid the egg, dated to about 68 million years old, was a marine reptile north of 20 feet and proposed it may have been a mosasaur, the remains of which have been found in the same vicinity. Mosasaurs, which resembled oversized paddle-tailed seagoing lizards, have generally been suspected of bearing live young, so the giant Antarctic egg has opened up a whole new debate on the reproductive behavior of these long-ago predators. The formidable mosasaur illustration evokes the awe-inspiring creature that once roamed ancient oceans. Imagine finding evidence of such giants in Antarctica, perhaps in the form of a massive leathery egg, a rare glimpse into the reproductive strategies of these immense marine predators and the vibrant past of the frozen continent. Okay, number 5 says Glossopteris and the Terra Nova expedition. Robert Falcon Scott's 1910-1913 British Antarctic expedition via the Terra Nova is better known as a tragedy, or is best known as a tragedy. Scott and 4 comrades reaching the South Pole just shy of Roald Amundsen's Norwegian team, who had become the first people to set foot at this remote extreme, and then dying on their arduous trek back to the expedition's base on Ross Island. But here's a fascinating paleontologic, geologic dimension to the Terra Nova story. Well told in the Antarctic Report podcast. When a rescue party discovered the corpses of Scott, Edward Adrian Wilson, Henry Robinson Bowers on the Ross ice shelf in November 1912, they also found fossil specimens in the tent. Samples the men had continued hauling despite their weakened condition and mortal struggle. Scott's party had collected the fossils from the moraine along the Beardmore Glacier on February 8, 1912, as they journeyed back from the pole. Among the rocks gathered, Scott noted a piece of coal with beautifully traced leaves in the layers and some excellently preserved impressions of thick stems showing cellular structure. In 1914, the Cambridge University botanist Albert Seward identified the plant fossils as belonging to the prehistoric genus Glossopteris, which had previously been found in India, Australia, South America, and Southern Africa. Several 100 million years old, the Glossopteris fossils Scott and his men retrieved helped to prove that Antarctic had once been connected with those other southern hemisphere landmasses in the supercontinent Gondwana. The find also helped Alfred Wegener formulate his groundbreaking theory of continental drift, which paved the way for our modern understanding of plate tectonics. Robert Falcon Scott and his brave Terra Nova expedition team faced unimaginable hardships in Antarctica. Their enduring spirit and the scientific data they collected, including vital evidence like the Glossopteris fossils, continue to inspire researchers today as they uncover even stranger discoveries hidden deep beneath the ice. Now, that source was from Wikipedia. It was public domain via Wikimedia Commons. Now, it's funny that they're talking about how that was once formed because when your dad was driving motor coach, when he was up here in Pennsylvania, he did the Geoforce. Do you remember him doing the Geoforce?
Mm-hmm.
The geologists, they went and they showed the different parts here in Pennsylvania and around, different areas and that where the continents were joined. And if you look closely at them, you can see where the separation and the formation fits perfectly like a puzzle. But he's been there. Matter of fact, that's one of the reasons why they want him to go back into motor coaching, because those people from Geoforce only want your dad doing it because he knew that route and that really well. So anything? Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's just amazing what all and the eggs and so preserved like that. That's incredible. And the leaves and stuff. That's incredible. Number 6, a vast volcanic province stretching from the Antarctic Peninsula to the Ross Sea under the West Antarctic ice sheet lies one of the largest rift systems in the world. A 2017 project studying the buried terrain of the West Antarctic rift system shows that also among the planet's great volcanic provinces. The effort identified close to 140 subglacial volcanoes, some of them better than 12,000 feet in elevation. Some 91 of those ice-buried volcanoes had never been described before, demonstrating just how mysterious the white continent, and not least what's under the ice of Antarctica, remains. And number 7, an epic fish nursery below the Weddell Sea. In fact, it's not just what's under the Antarctic ice cap that remains little known, but also the depths of its polar waters and sea ice. In early 2022, scientists announced the discovery of an absolutely enormous nursery of ice fish on the seafloor of the Weddell Sea. The astonishing find came aboard a German icebreaker investigating the depths of the Weddell, said to have the clearest waters on Earth. Video feed from 1-ton camera showed the ship towered blew the minds of onboard scientists when it began showing a staggering number of close-packed icefish nests, each guarded by a single adult. While previously documented icefish colonies have numbered on the order of several dozen nests, this Weddell Sea Nursery was estimated to contain some 60 million, an almost mind-boggling number. We've never seen anything like this, one of the onboard scientists of the Institute said. The giant nursery was sharply demarcated, its edges corresponding, coincidentally or not. It's yet unclear with the extent of comparatively warm upwelling of water. The seemingly desolate beauty of the Weddell Sea holds a vibrant secret beneath its surface. I think there was 9 of these, so if you guys get bored, tell me, want me to shut up, I can stop. Cactus, it's so much like with a cold, desolate place like that, all this going on, like you wouldn't think that. Number 8 says warm subglacial caves under Antarctica. So if there's caves under there and that, how do we know that maybe that isn't what they found behind that wall, that there is some kind of a civilization or something under there? Maybe not for people or anything, aliens, but I mean something, maybe creatures like a civilization of some kind of creatures or something, I don't know. Along with the subglacial lakes, rivers, and aquifers, it turns out some intriguing caves lie hidden beneath the ice of Antarctica. A 2017 study led by the Australian National University and written up in Polar Biology identified a network of subglacial caves in the vicinity of Mount Erebus. These steam-hollowed caves are warm, up to 25 degrees Celsius, which is 77 degrees Fahrenheit, and well illuminated by sunlight penetrating the entrances and through the thin overlying ice. So that would be warm enough to habitat, have inhabitants of. That's interesting. That is very interesting. Soil samples collected by the research team within the caves contain DNA from algae, mosses, and animal life. In phys.org article on Discovery, lead researcher Caradwyn Fraser said, the results from the study gives us a tantalizing glimpse of what might live beneath the ice in Antarctica. There might even be a new species of animals and plants. They said the mesmerizing blue ice offers a glimpse into the hidden world beneath Antarctica's frozen surface. Recent discoveries have unveiled warm subglacial caves, suggesting that pockets of heat and liquid water exist where we least expect them, potentially fostering unique and unexpected life forms. And I think number 9 is the last one now, finally. 9, burrowing ghost. How do you say that one? I can never ever say that one. Anemones beneath the Ross ice shelf. You guys know what I'm talking about. I never ever could pronounce that word right. Yeah, see? Yeah, what about those caves? What about them damn caves? What?
There's something lurking under there.
In 2010 and 2011, as part of the ANDRIL, Antarctic Geological Drilling Program, an 850-foot deep, 12-inch diameter borehole was drilled 5 miles back from the front of the Ross Ice Shelf. And a cylindrical ROV known as the submersive capable of under ice navigation and imaging deployed down to provide visuals for the retrieval of a sediment core sample from the seafloor. But once Skinny, whatever, SCINI, that was an anagram for what that was, exited the borehole instead of surveying barren waters as expected, incredibly, its camera revealed an unusual and likely unique marine biological community dominated by wispy, ghost-like anemones living upside down inside burrows in the lower surface of the ice shelf itself. Subsequently named Edwardsia and Anderli after the program, they were the first reported species of sea anemone to live in ice. They had found a whole new ecosystem that no one ever seen before. What started out as an engineering test of the remotely operated vehicle during its first deployment through a thick ice shelf turned into a significant and exciting biological discovery. Exactly how the animal lives or indeed thrives in such an unusual habitat is still a mystery, and the unexpected anemones weren't the only discovery to be made by ANDRIL program. A menagerie of bizarre creatures was caught on film, including upside-down swimming fish using the underside of the ice shelf like a seafloor. An unidentified cylinder-shaped creature the scientists dubbed the egg roll.
The egg roll fish.
So that's what all I got there on top of everything else. So that's quite interesting. So that kind of didn't pertain to the ice wall itself, but it did pertain to ice walls. So how do we know then, knowing all of that, that something on order of that maybe aliens? Because too, when we talked about aliens and mystery lights and stuff like that at one time, what did we find out about them going down into the ocean? And it seems like water seems to be maybe where their portals are to their civilizations. So
where they're kind of just hiding out.
Dun, dun, dun. I mean, it does raise a lot of questions. So you can see why all these conspiracy theorists
Okay, first of wait, hold on. First of all, I didn't eat supper. It is 10 o'clock at 8:40 something. Well, actually, earlier, Dylan came home and he ordered DoorDash. I didn't eat supper. I think he kind of knew it, but he didn't really know it because I didn't tell him.
He knows she doesn't eat unless she comes over here and we say, Gabriella, did you eat?
Yeah. So he ordered DoorDash, and this is Taco Bell. This is my supper. It's a quesadilla.
However, we still are
That's the good one.
feasting on the pineapple cookies.
Yes. This is a really big piece, actually. Look at how big this
That is a big piece.
piece of quesadilla is.
Yeah, that is a big piece. Anybody have any questions that, like, I don't know how much we can answer because it's still now, because of all that, it did raise a lot more. I can see why your dad got so fascinated by it.
I was fascinated by it when I did that research on the ecosystem that the scientists found. I wish I knew where I put that because I know we did research on it. I mean, I know I did research on it. I know I said about it on one of these episodes. So
Yeah, I remember you saying something about it.
I
thought you had all that. No, you were writing in another notebook
It was
before
a
you
little
got that one.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little one. I don't know if it's over at the apartment and if it was one of them that I was going to use for a note thing. And then I was like, well, I have a bigger note one now. So I put it away somewhere. I know I didn't throw it away because I think it had the hardcover.
I think it did too. Yeah, I think it did.
So I'll have to find that. But I was interested in it when I found out about the whole entire ecosystem that they found and the new sea creatures and everything that they found under there. And then when everybody had these conspiracy theories about the ice wall, I was like, okay, it is interesting that there's an ice wall and that people are kind of being very secretive about everything behind it. So I will do my research. And then when Dad started talking about it, I was like, okay, cool. I now have more things.
Well, what we'll do on Tuesday, I promise you I will have my story done this weekend. Tuesday will be story time to finish up that story, and we will have updates on some of the stuff maybe that we covered before. And then Thursday, we will do the Jersey Devils.
Okay.
And talk about that.
You do the research.
Okay.
I'm done doing research.
Well, because I've been coughing off and on. I know you couldn't really talk a lot the other day because
I did all my research today.
Yeah, I did mine today too. Because I was too busy freaking fighting with the freaking mail people, finding out why and how we haven't been getting our mail. Stupid asses.
It's weird that once upon a time, Antarctica was tropical.
Yep. And that's funny because that's like Pennsylvania used to be, we used to be a tropical climate at one time. But everything's switching.
So I guess it's actually not that far-fetched to think alien beings could survive hiding out in that climate if there's sea life surviving there.
And plus with the temperature, like in those caves, maybe that's what's down below there, some of those caves.
Could be.
And there is a civilization, and with those temperatures, we could live down there.
It is weird that there's caves underneath ice where there's volcanoes that are only like 70-some degrees.
Interesting. So here's the story that they wrote up for me.
Douglas is here.
Douglas in the house. Nice to have you back, Douglas. My goodness, we haven't seen you, which I know you're busy. So here's the story that they made up for me. It goes, oh, yes, this one begs to be whispered, not explained. Here's a creepy lore version that we can use. The Ice Wall of Antarctica. The lore. No one agrees on when it was first noticed, only that it was never meant to be found. Ancient sailors wrote of a white horizon that did not move, no matter how long they sailed. They spoke of a cold so deep it listened, of winds that carried sounds not made by storms. When their ships turned back, their compasses spun wildly, as if something beneath the ice objected to being approached.
Watergate.
Well, you know what? That would be a good topic because I did that in college when I went to Computer Learning Network, the Bermuda Triangle.
I did that in school.
We could do that too. They called it the Ice Wall, but it was never a wall to keep us out. It was built to keep something else in. What lies beyond the wall? Those who claim to have reached the wall describe ice rising like a cathedral. Hey, maybe Elsa's living there.
Let it go.
Smooth, vertical, endless. No breaks, no shoreline, just a frozen face stretching beyond sight. At its base, the sea is unnaturally still. No birds, no seals, no sound. And then, sometimes, a vibration, felt through the bones rather than heard, like we felt before, as if the ice itself were breathing. The buried watchers, long before humanity named the stars, an older civilization is said to have fled south, chasing the cold. They believed ice could imprison what stone and fire could not. They entombed the watchers, entities that did not age, did not sleep, did not belong to this world. Creatures that bent thought and memory, that could whisper across centuries. The ice was not chosen by chance. Cold slows decay. Cold slows thought. Cold slows awakening. Why no one is allowed to dig? Every deep drilling attempt ends the same way. Equipment failure. Voices on open channels that don't belong to any crew member. Scientists reporting dreams of standing at a vast door, one that knows their name. In some logs, redacted but leaked, crews report warmth below the ice. Not geothermal heat, living warmth. One team vanished after claiming the ice beneath them had begun to crack upward. The real purpose of the treaty, the Antarctic Treaty, was never about peace. It was a pact of silence, a global agreement to never disturb what sleeps below. No mining, no deep excavation, no permanent settlements near certain coordinates, coordinates that don't appear on public maps. Because the wall is not eroding, it is thinning. When the wall falls, they say the ice sings before it breaks. A low, endless tone that causes nausea, panic, and overwhelming dread in anyone who hears it. Animals flee days in advance. Satellites glitch. Auroras appear where they shouldn't. And beneath it all, movement. Not outward, upward. Final warning. If you ever stand before the ice wall and feel a sudden sense of being recognized, it's already too late. The wall doesn't guard the edge of the world. It guards the end of it. And then it just says if I wanted more. So that was it. If I wanted more story.
Wouldn't that be interesting if AI, because they
get their information from a lot.
Yeah, they get their information from the internet and everything that they know, and they comprise it into that one story. What if they know something that we don't, and because AI is part of like government?
Well, it's funny because too, we're talking about AI and we have an Alexa. Now, what happened 2 days in a row? We're just sitting in the living room And all of a sudden, Alexa comes on and she starts talking to us. And we're there, Alexa, stop. And then today, she comes on and she's rambling on something. And I say, Alexa, stop listening in on our conversations. And that time she didn't say anything. Yesterday, she kind of responded like, we do not invade privacy. We take, that whole big thing that they say. Well, today when I said, Alexa, stop listening in on our conversation, nothing. It was dead silent. So it's like,
So, yeah. See? Cactus is like, oh, I see what you mean, Gabby. The thing the reason why I also say that is there are some people, I don't know if it's Chat GPT or if it's another AI
that's what I like.
or something, but people, they will ask questions about the government and they will say, if there's something secretive, we're gonna use star as our code name.
Let me try something.
If there's something that you can tell me, but it's still kind of confidential and you feel like you'd get in trouble, it's gonna be a circle. And then if you can tell me, can you tell me? And a lot of the things that this person asked them, that was a lot about like government conspiracy theories and everything, that AI thing said their code words for I can't tell you, or it's true but I can't tell you, and things like that. And we're like,
and it's funny because I notice when I get these stories off of there, some of the stories, the way they write it kind of coincides with some of the speculations, but tied in with actual facts. So it's like they try to hint, that there's actual proof, but then they throw that twist in there. Oh, it's just a story. It's that is very interesting.
It is. I need to find those videos where they're like, if you can't tell me something because it's confidential, but it's a yes, we're gonna just say the word cinnamon. If it's something that you can tell me, just come out and tell me. And it's pretty crazy what they ask them, and then you hear them say that code word that they set for it, that's confidential but meaning yes.
So in my lifetime, I will probably never ever hear any concrete proof of that there could be a government cover-up at the ice wall or Area 51. I mean, they're kind of letting out more and more because it did come out. They finally admitted to UFOs, even though they changed. It's no longer UFO, but I'll always call it UFO.
It's like
A something. I can't.
AUI.
So it's something I can't remember, but I'll always call them UFO, and and things like that. But ice wall, I'll probably never know. That's the same as I'm hoping before the end of my time that somebody comes up with concrete proof on the afterlife, paranormal, that nobody can debunk no matter how hard they try, because really, which leads me to, as you know, we have all these weird things going on. That vibration before again, I'm dismissing that one again as the dog. We kind of dismissed the other one as the dog from the other night, even though we're still questioning it. But today, I go into the bathroom and I'm fixing my hair and stuff. And I'm standing there. Now, mind you, our bathroom, the floor creaks a little bit as you move. And I'm heavy. Like, I'm going to try to lose some weight this year. I don't know how successful because I have no metabolism whatsoever, but I'm going to give it a shot. Anyhow, the floor creaks. Okay. So I could hear my footsteps in the creaking.
Yeah, UAP.
Yeah.
I thought it was A something.
Yeah, I thought it was a something too, but it's UFO. It's always going to be UFO. Um, but anyhow, I'm feeling the floor creaking for me, and I know it was for me. But behind me, now mind you, our bathroom is in that hallway where I heard the growl and everything. But behind me, I felt the like two heavy like footsteps like go right up behind me. And to be honest with you, I don't get freaked out or anything, but it kind of made me a little bit uneasy. Like I think the hairs behind my neck stood up because I'm kind of very slightly like kind of like this looking back, and there was nothing there, but it was a heavy 2 footsteps right behind me. So that's bad enough. Then when I'm in there again putting makeup on, I'm standing there and I'm moving, which I mean you can feel, but it felt like a thumping underneath my feet, not the creaking, but like a thumping. And then I had the closet door open and it was against the other door. Well, I moved the closet door so I could open because I heard Gabriella coming in. And I'm trying to open the door up, and it felt like something on the other side was pulling it to try to prevent me from pulling the door open. And it did it not once, but twice. And the second time was a little bit easier, but the first time it was like really pulling hard, like I was not supposed to get out of that bathroom. So that kind of freaked me out. And that's in that same area where lately all that weird shit has been going on.
Shit's been happening.
All kinds of weird
shit. We don't know why, especially all of a sudden.
Yeah. All kinds of weird shit.
Because it's not like we don't do investigations in this house. We did in our other house, and we did like maybe a few times in this one.
Well, I wouldn't call it an investigation, but we did use the spirit talker and that in the art room, which is like it's connected to the house, but it's. Well, yeah, that's right. We did that one night. We did because we got
in here.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as the whole investigation, we didn't. We just used we put the REM pod up in here too.
Yeah, but I would still call it an investigation because you're still talking to whatever.
I guess I don't know. I don't really call that an investigation, but whatever.
Well, fine then.
Well, jays. But you had an experience.
So yeah, my experience the other day. We just got done making pineapple cookies, and I was also putting on my nails. Well, I was on my second to last nail, and I look over because I started feeling like I was being watched or somebody came through the door or something. And so I look out into the art room, and I don't see anything, and so I was like, okay, so I still feel weird. I look out towards the bathroom area, hallway thing, and I see that it's kind of, I describe it as blurry, but it's almost like if you get like a piece of plastic or something and smudge it a little bit with your finger and you could still see like everything through it, but it's blurry. That's pretty much what I saw, and I was like, well, I'm sick, so maybe it's just my eyesight being weird. So I dismissed it. Finally, I'm on my last nail, and I feel something on the back of my shirt, like, tugging, and I was like, what is happening right now? And then I like, tried to move my shirt around and everything, and I didn't have a loose-fitting shirt either. I had a tight shirt on, and, I tried to move around because I thought maybe it got stuck on the chair or stuck on something, and me moving around was tugging it a little bit. I couldn't recreate it, and it kind of freaked me out. And then I looked back over where I saw that blurry thing, and it was gone. It was normal vision. So
just a lot of shit is happening. Tom's seen things. We see our mystery person. Eric said he saw a cat the other day, the tail of a cat, but it wasn't Pee-wee because he said it was white. The tail was white.
Was it Fluffy? Because that could have been Badger.
Never thought about that. I never thought about that. It could have been Badger because he had a white tail.
He did. Well, it was like partial.
I'll have to ask him again. Well, he's listening on here too, so. Yeah, it does. Well, in the dining room right here, this room, the kitchen, and the hallway, it's like not even in the living room. It's just because our living room's over there.
Well, in this room, it's normally like we think it's residual energy because it's usually we see someone walking back and forth here, and there might be a sound or like something drop, and then that's it. But in there, you'll have the feeling of being watched. You'll have like right behind you. You'll have experiences in the bathroom. You'll hear weird like growling and like male noises, I guess.
Well, we remember that
in the hallway.
Do you remember that the other day when you were leaving to go back and I made sure that the door's locked and we heard that
who sound? It was kind of, well, I called it like an owl. I said it kind of sounded like who, but it was like a screech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I heard you left, and I heard it again right after you left, and then they're like,
yeah, because she looked at me like I was crazy at first. I was like, did you hear that? It sounded like an owl. And I was like, shh. And we were trying to listen for it.
And we closed the door, and I made sure it was locked, and I took a couple steps, and I heard it again. I stopped, and they're like, you need to stop that.
So we don't know what's going on, but it's...
Yeah. Well, and the art room down there, too, is where that mirror is that Tom does not like. And there was the one day when I was out there, and I was getting something out of the refrigerator, and I saw that white... It was like that, but rectangular, about that big, and went right like towards that area where the
I remember that.
Remember
that? Was the day after the bird got in.
Yeah, and I'm there trying to debunk it. I'm opening up the refrigerator. I'm moving every way in that to see if the reflection of something in the refrigerator could have caused that. But not only did I see it, but I heard it like as if it hit. Like the wall or the floor or something.
Down there and there was nothing.
Yeah, and I went out and checked, and there was nothing at all that had any signs of that. But I did like crazy try to debunk it because I'm opening up the refrigerator, I'm looking in the microwave, I'm doing like all this, like, okay, let's try this angle. Let me move here. Let me do this, and I could not recreate that whatsoever. So I don't know what that was, but it's always something.
Always something.
Can I show Douglas the music box? I can, yes.
That music box.
What is there? Let me see.
Somewhat happens around the mirror, bathroom, kitchen. Yeah, it does.
Let me go, and I'll get that music box for you, and I'll show you Douglas.
It's like every house we've moved to. There's
I'm kind of wondering if something. Well, we had stuff from the other house that we brought here, and that music box was one of them. And
my biggest thing though is like, why is it happening all of a sudden? If it was something that we brought, it wouldn't have waited to be unpacked or waited to be moved or whatever. It would have started.
Yeah, it was just weird. It's just, I don't know. It's kind of, it's weird that I can't explain it. I can't.
There's just weird shit going on. Weird shit we can't explain. The growling isn't cool. No, it's not. I didn't hear it, but I kind of heard like a grumbling. I'm pretty sure that there's a male presence in that hallway.
Thomas.
Well, not just Thomas. I think there's something else in there too that's kind of a little bit
like
more
creepy.
Yeah.
We have a creepy
guy in there.
He's a creepy guy. We don't need anything. You're not really creepy, buddy.
I think Thomas is fine.
He only growls at us and everything else.
How many
Okay.
times have you heard the growl?
I only heard the growl that one time.
I haven't heard it at all. I heard like a grumble one time. I guess you would call it a growl, maybe.
This I only heard it that one time, and it totally caught me off guard because I never heard that before. And I look back, and I'm there like, okay, that kind of startled me a little bit. I didn't freak out or anything, but I mean, I did get a little uneasy. But I'm looking, and then I turn and go away, but it felt like eyes piercing at me. So I felt like, and your dad says every time he comes down in the morning to get his coffee, as he walks away to go back upstairs, he said it feels like something's following him. And one morning he said he actually did see a shadow following right behind him. So I love this thing, by the way, Douglas, and that's why I got it. Here's the story to it, which, because you didn't hear. Down at the other house, the main living room that we were in all the time had a wall of like bookshelves built in, and there was a big section in the middle where you put your TV. Well, Tom had a 120-inch movie screen up, and he had it like our theater, surround sound, and everything else. And we were trying to figure out how we were going to design it, and we wasn't sure. And I run across this thing, and I'm there, oh yeah, this will be perfect for the theater. And it's a little movie projector, and it's a music box, and it has a little door right here, and it does play. So I got that down there for the music room, and I don't know. You heard a bang?
Heard a bang.
So it's like since we pulled that out, especially in that area, the activity has really picked up. It does sound like there's something out there, but it could.
When you played that, I heard like a.
Are you out there? Do you like that? We see a shadow back in there. But yeah, so that's the story of the music box.
It's always music boxes.
Yeah, that other one. I don't know though. I think if anything, I pushed that button and it was. Did you hear that?
I heard.
That's crazy. Just some of the other things like that she has brought me back from like that church and that. And I don't know. You know, you got to kind of question.
I plead the fifth.
You can't. It could, who knows? It could be that, well, but I put it up in the cupboard. She brought me back this, like, no, I put it over there. Like this picture. Or vase, whatever you want. Was it a vase or a pitcher?
Oh, it was a picture.
And, I mean, and didn't it have like cups or something with it, though?
The jars. The jars.
I'm trying to.
No.
You know what? It's over jars. There. Yeah, it was like a cookie jar, and jars. But there was another one though too. I think I put it in there. I'm gonna have to pull out some of this stuff, and we're gonna have to try to see some psychometry to see if we can get any fillings, because every now and then, we're not saying we know how to do psychometry or anything like that, because we really don't go and practice it a lot.
But that one time that we did do it, and we found What did I hold?
It
Was
was
it a
you was
picture?
holding the picture of my mom. And you saw railroad tracks and everything else. And I said,
Yep.
well, Gabriella, where I grew up, there used to be old coal mines there, and there's a railroad track.
I saw a fence, I saw the road.
So
that was weird.
Yeah.
Because I just closed my eyes and was like, what am I looking at right now? Oh, that's a railroad track. Yeah. Okay.
That's where the middle school / now high school is. They had K through 8. And then now that the high school closed down permanently, they moved the high school. They added on to it, and they put the high school down there now. So,
question, Gabby. Yes, Linda.
Can you hear snow fall off the house? There's really no snow on the house, on the roofs, because it's pretty peaked. And we hear it. We do hear the snowfall, but right now everything's so frozen, nothing ain't moving. It's just too cold. Like right now, let me see what the temperature, because it's what, 10:35. We've been on an hour and a half. Holy shit.
Damn.
Let's see the temperature right now, which I got to make sure I let that sink drip again, because I think I forgot to do it last night, and it seemed like the thing was a little spurty this morning, and like it was starting to freeze, and we can't have that.
Let me see if these questions are behind.
It's saying right now, the Carolinas are getting hit with a nor'easter. They're going to get the snow. Right now, they said it is 5 degrees, but it feels like -4. So, I mean, and we're supposed to be in this frigid cold up until Monday. So, but with that being said, let's see, okay. We already answered that one, all that.
Yeah, I was looking at the questions on here because that's slow.
Is it?
It's very slow because there's Oak Diane low-key blaming Gabriella and Chaos Good.
Yeah. Hey, I gotta blame her because she's the one that gets, except for this. I did buy this projector, the music box. I did buy that specifically for the viewing room down there.
So she's blaming me, but she's the one that usually gets things off of auction sites.
Yeah, I like the mirror, and yeah, well, hey, if it's there, I buy it. If I like it, I get it. I want to get a haunted doll. Your dad said, hell no.
I was gonna get you a little Annabelle.
Were you?
It was a little
Raggedy Ann.
Yep, Raggedy Ann doll from a antique shop.
I can put it in a little case, and I can call her Little Annabelle too.
So tiny.
Little Annabelle. I think I had a Raggedy Ann doll at one time when I was growing up. It seems to me like I don't remember for sure.
It was so cute. There were so many of them. There were so many of the tiny little ones. And then there was the regular sized ones, but of course they were more expensive.
Yeah, I bet you they're now probably a little pricey because of the whole Annabelle thing.
Cactus said, "You want a haunted doll?"
Yeah, well, I want a doll that may be haunted. Oh, and guys, I watched yesterday. Katrina from Trouble the Dead. She has that new series on After the Dead. She had her show on last night on the talking and that about the investigation at the jail, which was pretty interesting. It's funny though because she had Darcy and Dave, a clip of them, and then she did have the clip of me on there. So if you guys watch it, I'm on there again. But they were talking about Smitty, and they think that he escaped, and I still think he was murdered. And they said it doesn't make any sense that if he was set to be executed that next day, why would they murder him? But I don't think they understand that if he was ready to spill the beans on somebody with power or some higher up authority, he had nothing to lose because he was going to be executed. But even if he got the execution. If he spilled the beans, then they had everything to lose because he would have told everybody what he knew about them. So then, whether he's alive or not, they would have the people that he exposed would have to deal with what kind of dirt he found out on him. So it does make sense. So that would give him a legitimate reason to bump him off. But I don't think they quite understood that. But it was an interesting little talk that they had on there. So
Cactus said, "Oh yeah, I saw a bit of that too. Saw the clip of you." Yeah, I can see that they wanted to make sure he didn't have an opportunity to say anything.
I got that's. I still get real upset, and I know it's in the past, and I don't like to thing up, but talking yesterday or listening yesterday to this other person that was running a place and hearing the same thing that he went through, that we went through, it makes me angrier because he's like still reaping profits off of what we started. I mean, that was our baby. He had no interest in the paranormal part at all. And it's just, I think the backstabbing and the fact that he kept on saying we weren't going anywhere, we weren't going anywhere, and the fact that it is bad enough that he got rid of us, but changing the locks on everything and acting like we were criminals or something and going to rob them or something. I mean I literally, that was, yeah. Well, we got to protect. I got to protect this place, Diane. From what? From me? We're going to go down. We have not been down there one time since we left. So if we wanted to do something funky, we'd have been going down there and trying to climb over the walls or whatever, and have to try to get. I mean, come on. I never ever gave him any reason ever not to trust us. I mean, we handled so much cash. If I was ever going to be distrustful, we could have skyped a lot of cash that went through our fingers, and he got every single penny we made. So, but whatever. But anybody have any questions or anything in that? Because we're already at an hour and a half.
Linda said maybe he thought he could escape execution by spilling the beans. Cactus said it will always be a mystery. Only Smitty knows. And then Linda said, same people involved?
See, I don't think that he wanted to escape the execution, Linda. I think he just knew he had nothing to lose. So since he knew he was due to get executed, hey, I'm going to spill the beans because if I'm being it, because he felt that his sentence was wrong, which it was. He should have got manslaughter, not first-degree murder, because it wasn't premeditated. He didn't plan that day to shoot him. It was in an act of, they were both drunk, and it was just like a spur of the moment. Through a fight, he pulled out a gun. It was a poor choice that cost somebody their life, and it happened to be his buddy. So I think he felt, like I think a lot of us agree, that the crime was just too much for him. So he probably thought, okay, I'm going to be executed tomorrow, so it doesn't matter what I say. I'm going to spill the beans on these people. They kill me, what? I'm nothing to lose. But you know what? When I go, I'm going to go out with a bang. I'm going to squill, and I'm going to make sure that all of them are investigated and they're be held responsible for what they said and did too. But he ended up disappearing before, ironically. So that's why my gut, my soul, my bones, everything tells me that he is in there, that jail yet, buried in that dungeon, that he never escaped.
To him, he's there.
Yeah, he's there. He never escaped. I'll believe that till I go to my grave. So.
And it was funny because Dylan reminds him of his wife. So there.
Because he shows him his wife. One Cactus or somebody said was same people involved. Yeah, Kiwi did. From what I heard on the live, not the few in particular, but one of the teams that is like best friends or very, very involved with the other one. So kind of yes. Yes. I'm going to say yes. So, and it's just because as soon as he mentioned that team, they're like,
Whenever she told me who that team
whoa.
was, I was like,
holy shit. Like, that was the first response, like, holy shit. So that kind of, like, if anybody ever said that we are bullshitters and we make up, that kind of solidified all of our claims right there 100%.
Yep.
So, but regardless, like we said, we're going to go on. We're not doing bullshit. We're just having positive news.
This is called real talk.
For a reason. For a reason.
There.
For a reason.
For a reason.
So, guys, are you excited about us doing the Universal Yums again?
I'm excited.
Do you want us to do that on a special day instead of Real Talk or out or the other side, like our regular thing, or do you want us to do it on either the Tuesday or Thursday? Do we want to do it as one of our regular shows? It's only one time out of a month, so yeah, we might as well, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we usually
we do that
did it for Real Talk anyway.
Yeah,
so.
we'll do that. So that'll work. So, like I said, they're sending the package out tomorrow.
Is it going to be like actual videos like it was before, or are we going to do it live?
We did it live before.
No.
Yeah, we did. Because remember, they laughed at us from our faces and everything and that.
So I am missing some.
Look, they were all live. Watch.
Not all of them.
Yeah, they were all live.
Not all of them.
Uh-huh.
Not all of them.
Yes, they were.
Not all
Yes,
of
they
them.
were.
I know they were.
Gabriella.
Were.
Gabriella.
I think the first two weren't live, and then the other ones.
No, they were all live.
Oh no, I'm not thinking. Never mind. I'm not thinking of Universal Yums. I'm thinking of our snacks from around the world.
Yeah, because all of our
Those ones weren't live.
I thought we did those live too.
Mm-mm.
I'll have to check.
I had the thumbnails and the intro and everything for those.
Because I know all the Universal we did live because they were laughing at the faces we were making and everything. And I made comments and saying we need a barf bag and all this, especially the wonderful Pakistan.
Yeah, Cactus said, I can't wait for you to start that again. Love seeing your reactions. And then, of course, Linda said, Pakistan, Pakistan, Pakistan.
No.
And Cactus said, yeah, you were live. And then said, girl, they were live. And it was hilarious.
Yeah. So
yeah, I was thinking of the snacks from around the world.
I think the snacks from around the world were live, though, too. We're gonna have to
because I literally just went on here the other day when I was searching for the other things.
Other things.
Snack testing.
You're under live.
So I know. That's why we did it like that. Reviewing snacks from around the world. That's a normal video. Trying candies from around the world, part 2. That was a normal video. Bamboozled.
I knew the bamboozled one. I didn't think was.
And then, of course, we wanted to go Skinwalkers.
Yeah. We need to do some more of those things like that and then have your conspiracy. Maybe Gabriella on Tuesday or on Thursday next week for the Jersey Devils. Maybe she will have a good conspiracy theory on
Monkey Chavez is here.
So, Monkey Chavez, where's she?
They. I don't know if it's he or she.
Yeah, I should stop assuming the gender of people, but I don't want to say it because
just say they.
They might not want to be called they.
It's better than calling
it
them a
he or she, that person. We are bad.
He's a man.
He's a man. Okay.
We got another male.
Look at this.
We got another male.
But Monkey, is that what Monkey?
Yeah.
Monkey Chavez, though, you know what? You come on just as we're getting ready to go off there, dude. You need to tune in. tune in on Tuesdays at 9 on the other side with Diane, and on Thursday on here, and you can catch us. And we've been having lots of fun, and you're invited because you're part of the fam.
You
Part of
said
the fam.
I'm from a land far, far away.
Up from
Aren't we all?
Yep. Are you free? Where are you from, Monkey? What state?
I got you. I'm so sorry. I'm late.
Because I wonder what. Because I know. Cactus. What's the weather like in good old Cali? Because Linda, you're getting really cold weather for Florida.
He's in New Mexico.
Ooh. What's the weather like in New Mexico, Monkey?
I would assume it would probably be cold, but not like
what we're getting. I would imagine it's probably still pretty. I don't know. That's why I asked.
It's been okay. Well, Cactus said it's been sunny and was 80 today.
Really? Wow. I'll trade you, Linda. For Cactus, I'll trade you.
Monkey said it snowed like a couple days ago, but only cold at nights. Yeah, so New Mexico's doing pretty good. Apparently, so is California.
Hey, any of you guys, I will be glad to give you our sub-zero temperatures just for a little warmth. I'm not saying it has to be a lot of warmth. Just for a little bit.
We need just a tiny bit.
Just a tad.
There's the comments. They're finally popping up.
I wonder why it does that.
I don't know.
Why it does that.
I think it's an internet thing, or maybe you need to update your computer.
I don't know. I think it does need an update again.
Could be that.
I need a whole new laptop. This one here is it's a cheap ass brand of. I think it's a.
Okay, Monkey said he'll take it. He'll take the cold. Give us the warmth.
You know what?
A little bit of it.
Are you sure you want single digits and below zero, Monkey? Because wow, I can handle cold temperatures, but between my lungs getting messed up from the gel all last year, and then now these. Normally, Pennsylvania will get frigid temperatures like that, but it only lasts normally for like a day or two, and we go back. We've been through this now for a whole week. It's supposed to go clear until Monday. Yeah. So enough. We go outside, blow our nose, probably it'll be an icicle coming out.
Oh, yeah.
So that's all cold. That's fine. I'll on the reservation drop some egg. Oh, really? I never knew that. So you're going to have to come on one night and give us a little story on Mexico. And you know what, Monkey? Since you're on here, come on one night and give us some of the legends and lores of Mexico.
We already know about the chupacabra.
What was that?
I think that was Eric. I think Eric.
Who's out in the kitchen?
Okay, we'll be back.
If it's Dylan out there, if he's trying to scare us or if somebody's trying to scare us, I'm going to kick ass. We'll be right back. No, because it was in the kitchen. Why are you golf crying? That was very loud. And the door wasn't open. Okay. That's because they hear us. Okay. We don't know, guys. We went out. It wasn't Dylan.
Don't leave me out here by myself.
I left you out there by yourself. So we don't know what that was. I don't know. Did you guys hear that by chance on here? Did you hear that sound? And nobody's hiding or anything out there because you took and you checked everything.
Yeah, I checked everything.
My heart's racing.
So was mine.
That was loud, and it happened a couple times. It was, you know what it sounded like? You know that container that I have the cookies in? You know how when you open up the lid on it? It sounded like that. And it was loud. Are you stealing my pineapple cookies?
They're still the pineapple cookies. That was terrifying, though.
Oh, yeah. So,
Dude, I heard that. Cactus said, dude, I heard that.
see that? Wow, that was loud, wasn't it?
Chavez, you missed their stories about the paranormal activity they've been having. Sorry, gotta go, guys, but great show. The shaking again. Did you feel that?
Yeah. Hello? I'm literally shaking, guys. I'm a little bit.
Dang, I missed it. Shoot, forgot the EMF. Get the squirt gun of holy water. Just heard like a bit of a bang sound to me. That's what it was. Well, the first one, like you said,
That was
sounded
loud.
like your cookies opening.
Yeah, but that makes like a real loud,
The
like
second one was a bang.
That- yeah.
Like something fell or got punched or something. What was that click?
now that sounded like those little doors there.
Oh, maybe that was just the heat turning on. Maybe that was. just
The heat's
kicking
not
on.
running right now.
So what the fuck was that? Oh my gosh, what on earth is going on in your kitchen? We would love to know that.
Okay, we are going to call it a night here because
It's getting kind of.
review, guys, if you get a chance. Well, you guys, some of you heard that those sounds. Really, that
Cactus did. She said, dude, I heard that.
review up in.
Oh, see, there's the heat.
Yeah, see, you can tell when the heat kicks on. That was not the heat.
And it was a click. It was like a.
But there was a couple because it was the click, and then there were, like you said, that bang, and it was in the kitchen, which is kind of.
Wait, the click kind of sounded like the. When the camera turns on. It makes the clicking sound.
Well, let me check to see if anything got. Okay, that was the. Let me check the camera, our Ring camera, and see.
You guys are coming through this journey with us for a few minutes.
Goodness gracious! Let me see. Paranormal hallway. I call our camera where I have it set up. I have it listed as paranormal hallway.
I don't know what's going on tonight, but it's.
Okay, that was your. Okay, that was. Nope. See, it sounds like somebody's fucking walking out there. Like.
Cookie.
If you want a cookie, just take it, but just let us know.
Monkey said they're trying to make a sandwich. Good luck, update us and let us know what or if anything else happens after the stream. We're not leaving just yet. Just you guys
Okay,
are on this
I'm
kind of small
putting
journey with us.
I'm putting it on live for a second. Okay, guys, we are going to call. We're going to go check out to see if we're going to go see if we're going to, yeah. I'm going to call her tonight. We're going to go check out to see what, because it sounds like light scuffling, like somebody's actually in there. So
the clicking sound is coming from in that hallway.
it is?
There's a weird, like, you know the old cameras? You click, sounds like that in the hallway. But look, the thing is on. The camera.
Yeah, the camera's on because it's facing.
Could that be that sound? Yeah,
You shouldn't be able to hear that when the camera.
No, it's not when it's on. It's when it changes from night to day.
That there is the lights from green to red. See, watch.
I know, Mom, but since it's messing with the camera view, because look, you can see it green right there, and then it turns all black and white. It's changing from night to day vision because it's confusing the fuck out of it.
Yeah, but that might be because of those lights.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's confusing it. I think that's what the clicking sound is, but I don't know what the.
Yeah, but it doesn't click. Is what I'm telling you. That camera doesn't click.
It does, because I've heard it do it before.
I never heard it do it before.
It's doing it right now.
Oh, I don't hear it. I hear the clock. Okay, guys, we're almost going on 2 hours here. Yeah, you can hear a clock, my turtle clock right up there, the one that I put together myself that Tom got me for Christmas. We will check out the situation. We will, unless we do a special episode, I don't think tomorrow night or that, but we will announce it ahead of time. We will update you on what is happening.
What is happening out there?
But yeah, so I mean, I'm glad some of you guys actually got to hear what is all the time. Did you hear that? Okay, you can hear my
throat.
Yeah, my throat. Okay, so we're going to let you guys go. You know how we usually end. Thank all of you for showing up. Monkey, it is so wonderful having you on, joining us here tonight. We got another guy joining us, which is amazing, wonderful. Douglas, if you're still on, thank you, thank you, thank you. We love all of you guys so much because you continually give us that support. That's what this is all about. Us being here with you, like as if you're sitting in the living room with us, but you could have been experiencing it with us. But thank you for joining us tonight, and we will on Tuesday come back on the other side. It'll be story time and whatnot. So until then, did anybody have any questions? Okay, until then, you know how we end it. We'll say stay tuned and peace out. Bye. Love all of you guys. Thanks for tuning in and staying with us.
Wish us luck.
Yeah, wish us luck.